lovely, exciting world of startups. As you guys know, I'm Colin. I do a whole bunch of stuff with Founder Institute, other accelerator labs, and we have our own business called Series A, which is all about trying to help founders get from point A to point B, whether that's the point A being from early inception through to Series A, or through to being a great little company, and that's perfectly fine. So please make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn. And yeah, we've got some rules to Pitch Club. All of you should know this by now. Get your tech working. Even yesterday, I was mentoring a Silicon Valley cohort. We had two people on the call who just couldn't get the tech working. It's just painful. Are you a helicopter? No. Stick around. Keep your video on. That's great. Smile, enjoy, breathe, show up, bring the energy, talk about Pitch Club. You've got up to 2 minutes. We do 2 minutes just to be awkward, because most pitches are 1 minute, and we want to make sure that you're rehearsed for any situation. Most pitches are 1 minute or 3 minutes, or if it's not 3 minutes, then it's 33 minutes. Yeah, so 2 minutes is kind of a very long elevator ride. And also, look, it's okay to screw up. Doesn't matter. It's all good. Come back next week. So, what do we have today? Why is that doing that? Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to just mention our deal rooms, our data rooms are now live. So anyone who wants access to a data room, please message me after. Now, I may have to charge a tiny tinsy fee for this just to cover some of our costs, but for you guys here on the call, I promise that will be tiny tinsy. The exciting and interesting thing about this is that it gives you a focal point for when you're going out, A, to either customers, or B, and most of you want to be going out to investors. It gives you a focal point to then bring that conversation back to. And you can see here, this is a template. That QR code will take you to this deal room. We have a call to action in the pink button here, capital raising discovery call. That will actually book a session with Kunal and I. Kunal's on the call as part of the Series A team. But in here, we have 3 types of pitch. You don't have to put all of them in your deal room. The main one is an investor pitch. That's your big pitch. That's got all of your content in. Next one is a presentation pitch. This is your pitch, but without all of that content, but perhaps with you explaining that content. This is what we would typically use when we present. And then we have a teaser pitch, maybe 1 or 2 slides, and so on. Financial statements, there's a template in there as well. Cash flow statements, cash flow forecast, profit and loss, balance sheet, etc. Legals, roadmap, and so on and so on. Okay, so very, very important that if you haven't started to consider this, start to consider it. Yeah, because it will come up soon. We are live at the business show on the 22nd and 23rd of November. We love events, don't we, Heather?
Yeah, we love events.
Yes, we're saying this firmly tongue in cheek. We love events. Anyone who's ever paid £180 for a plug before knows what I'm talking about. I love events. So much so that I'm dismantling my dining room table and chairs and taking them with me instead of paying £600 for a crappy plastic chairs and table. However, it's going to be amazing. And if anyone wants to come along and meet us there, more than welcome. Now, I was reminded that we've actually only got 3 more pitch clubs to Christmas. Next week, we'll be at this event. The week after that, I'm sorry, it's my birthday. And much as I'd love to run Pitch Club on my birthday, I'm not going to. So we've only actually got 3 left. So please scan that QR code to book into the next ones. And that's it. Oh, Robin's stuff is still there. That's his webinar that we run, and of course Robin's session is coming up live in person. I think 2nd of December. So without further ado, without more waffling from me, everyone okay? Everyone good? Everyone happy? Who have we got in the room? We got Jorge, Yannick, Who hasn't pitched before? Stephen and Ozan, would you mind if you're here and maybe put your video on? India, hi India, how's it going? Who wants to volunteer? Hands up. And if you don't volunteer, oh, who's the hand up?
Yeah, me.
Jorge
Who's
is
me?
going.
Yeah. Ozan.
Did we have a run sheet, Heather?
Yeah, so Jorge is going to go first.
Okay. Who said me first?
Me, Ozan.
Ozan, you're going first. Jorge, we've heard from you before, so you're going second. Eddie, you've got your hand up. You're third. And we have some great mentors in the room. Michael's got his hand up as well. India,
Nice.
are you going to be pitching? No? You're just going to wait. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Stephen, if you're around, there's room for you as well. Okay, and Afoma, of course, you're pitching. You're top of the list. Because I want to understand from you, Afoma, how things have progressed. I'm intrigued. In terms of mentors, we've got Dan. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, good to see you. Sorry, I was caught on another page, but good to see you, Colin. Unfortunately, you can't come to my event on the 29th because it is your birthday, so I'm missing out on a pitch club and an event from you.
I'm sorry, I'm going to be sitting in a hot tub in Cornwall. What can I say? Maria, hi Maria, thank you so much for joining. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Maria, just a quick intro, perhaps.
Yeah, hi everyone. Nice to see you. This is my first pitch club. Colin very kindly invited me to it. So basically, my background is UiPath. I used to run something called the Innovation Labs at UiPath, which basically was a strategic program designed to showcase the art of the possible in technology with large corporations. I ran that for around 4 years. Afterwards, I took a break from let's say technology as a startup, and I started collaborating with the Founder Institute as a director for the Eastern European branch. So I work with a lot of startups in this from an accelerator perspective. So great to see you, and looking forward to hearing your pitches.
Thanks, Maria. Awesome. Awesome. And you guys, I think, all know Robin. Robin, do you know everyone?
I think I have seen most people here, but just to give everyone a quick intro, I'm a speaker, communication coach, and like Colin mentioned before, I have a public speaking accelerator that's coming up in December on the 7th. So if you want a lot of stage time and honest feedback, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I can tell you a bit more. But looking forward to pitches.
Cool. And we also have Heather in the room as well. Heather, I've worked with closely for quite some time now. She's now helping me out with events and all kinds of other stuff. And between us, we don't shout at each other every day, do we, Heather?
No, I just say every other day, probably.
Every other day. Okay, good. This is events for you. Kanal is part of the Series A team, and last but no means least, Mark.
Hi everybody. That was it. Hi. Hi everybody.
Good stuff. Okay, so Ozan, you now know everyone. There's no need to be nervous. There's no need to be worried about anything. I'm going to spotlight you. I'm going to find my timer. And you've got up to 2 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll give you some kind of weird honk noise, okay? And depending on how we're going, I might give you some more time.
Okay, so one last question. So do I need to share my screen for my pitch? Because my pitch take I think more than 3 minutes, but I have some elevator pitch without the deck.
Tell you what, you do you choose.
Okay.
Personally, I'd rather see a deck, but up to you.
Okay, so let me share my deck and then I start. Yes, can you see my screen right now?
We can, Ozan. Ready when you are.
Okay, so I'm starting right now. And hey, everybody, this is my first time in the Pitch Club. So my name is Ozan, and I'm here to talk about the new generation fertilizers today. As all of you know, chemical fertilizers nowadays are expensive, dangerous, and extremely difficult to be used by non-specialists, and a major source of for greenhouse gas emissions. My company, Alive Mars, has developed a unique formula that uses groundbreaking smart bacterial technology to create fertilizer that answers all of these problems. And our products come in one simple component and ready to use immediately by any farmer, and leads to 2 times faster growing and 10 times framer at the root. Our product is already developed and tested, and we have orders in Turkey. Our business model is B2C2B, and the market size we are activating in is $6 billion USD globally. And right now we are looking for seed investment for starting operational marketing activities. And that's all from my end. But also I want to show you, if I have a time, I want to show you some pictures regarding to our product. Yes, I mentioned that we have 3 biggest problem on the earth regarding with the chemical fertilizer. One of them is cost, expertise, and global warming. And the solution is 100% organic, nature-friendly formula, easy and cheap to apply, outstanding success. And this is much cheaper than the chemical fertilizers. And also we already include the NPK for the plants, and the solution is Biodox soil. We are developing 6 different type of bacteria, and all of them has some different ability. One of them is soften the oil, the another one is NPK supplier, and the another one is growth stimulation. One of them is perfect communication, and one of them have microbial protection, and the last thing is develop the water retention. So the benefit is, with only one operator you use this product, this is increase your soil healthiness, ease to farm, nutritious food, and save your money. Application is so easy, and you directly use your water pump feed, and also you use the drones. We did this 2 kind of application in the test. So the chemical fertilizers, as you see, so much cost effect on your farm, but we have none of them. And we directly also focus on 4 type of UN sustainability goals, 2, 6, 13, and 14. And this is how it's worked. We directly put our product into the soil, as I mentioned. And the product is the most successful bacterial combination and superior organic formula. And this is the main fertilizer, also include the NPK provider, NPK. So the liter is 20 USD. And this is 2 times fast growing and 10 times framing at the roots. This is the outcome of our laboratory tests. And the market is in Turkey. There is no SAM and SOM still in Turkey. The TIM is 1.6 billion. And we are also focusing on the 1% on the first year, on the first 8-month periods.
Ozan,
yes, it's finished, I think, right now.
so okay, so look, we're well over 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'd let you go because okay, right. So tell you what.
Okay, this is the last slide I want to show. And
all right, sure, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the analyzed report. This is the biggest farm in the Turkey, and the physical analysis shows that we are on the top, and also on the leaf analysis we are more than the others. And yes, this is my last slide I want to show you.
Ozan, thank you. I like the slides and I like the design of the slides. Okay, so in terms of feedback, first of all, are you happy for some feedback? Got to check. Are you happy for me to give you some good feedback?
Yeah, no, all of them is okay for me, good or bad, because
okay.
I try to improve myself on every point.
Exactly what we're after. So for me, the story was all over the place. Now, I think I'm going to give you a free pass because you said I've got an elevator pitch, which is me talking about something, but then I've got a 3-minute deck. And so I think you've actually got maybe a bit confused in terms of trying to marry up the two. So I'm going to give you a free pass there. Okay. What I'm not going to give you a free pass on is, if you imagine yourself, you're an expert in this. Clearly you're an expert in this. Yeah. You've been working in this extensively.
Yeah.
I know nothing about this. I know that this is a thing, but I know nothing. And I would imagine that a great many of us in the room know nothing about this. So your job really is to help us to try and run really, really fast to catch up with you, so that we're on the same page as you as quickly as possible. Now, with facts and figures, that's very, very difficult to do. And with technicalities and with problems and statements, that's very, very difficult to do. Yeah, unless you're articulating right from the outset the pain in the market. As soon as you articulate the pain in the market, then we understand instantly, this is a massive problem. Yeah, the fact that chemicals, certainly here in the UK, we're not only backwards, but going back further backwards. We've hit rock bottom, and now we're starting to dig. We're well behind the EU directives and new EU laws because, of course, of Brexit. Now, this is a massive, massive problem. So where's the emotion in that? Yeah, I want to be taken on a bit of a journey in terms of my observation of this pain in this market led me to come up with this business. And, I'm absolutely perfectly positioned to solve this pain in the market. Personally, that's what I want to hear on a complicated pitch for the first time. But look, I'm going to shut up for a bit. I'm going to ask Maria. Maria, what do you think? What's your feedback?
Thanks, Colin, and thank you, Ozan, for your pitch. So actually, I'm in a favorable position because I know what Ozan's company does, and he's actually part of the cohort now for the Eastern Europe one. So Ozan, I see you've incorporated, so we've had a few office hours, and I see you've incorporated a lot of my feedback in your first part of the pitch.
Yes.
Which makes me very happy. But however, what I think you've been doing is that you've incorporated a bit of my feedback, a bit word for word, and you've lost the whole context of everything, as Colin was saying. So you had your elevator pitch for the first part, and then you went into what you actually wanted to say with the whole slide deck in the second. So the idea of the skeleton that we've been working together, which for everyone's knowledge is just like, pretty much storytelling, is to incorporate your knowledge and your enthusiasm in a story, right? So exactly as Colin was saying, we don't know anything about this, right? We want to know more. So we're working on, you told me the problem, how to solve the problem, how you're doing it, but I want to understand your knowledge, who you are, and bring your enthusiasm. So although you're following this storyline at the beginning, afterwards I could see actually you didn't marry your story to your slides. So basically we told the story really fast, and then but actually I want to show you guys my slides. The idea is to actually marry these slides with the main points of a story. This is my main feedback. The second one is around first of all, your reading, which is, you can obviously tell from a mile. And when you're reading, you're not making any kind of, let's say, what's the word, focus on different things. So actually your story does start with the problems. You're saying, I'm here to talk about the next generation of fertilizers, because now fertilizers are expensive. They create global warmings. They're into greenhouse gas emission. But when you say it, well, you just spit it out, no one understands anything. I can't remember the problems because you just said it very, very fast. So you have to emphasize on the important parts of your pitch.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think this is kind of my pitch towards you. Like I said, I like the story as a whole. I like your product, but you need to, as Colin was saying, put enthusiasm, put knowledge into a story that everyone can understand, and learn your pitch by heart and put, the elements to the slides.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. Great feedback. Ozan, look, this is why the majority of us here love working for, I'm going to say techies, and I'm going to put you in a techie group, because look, it's just great fun trying to help you on that journey. I'm going to pass over to Heather for some feedback. What do you think, Heather?
So I didn't actually realize it was past 2 minutes. I was quite engaged with it. So it seems like a really interesting concept. I don't know anything. I'm totally uneducated on fertilizer, chemicals, and soil. But I think the whole thing was really interesting. I wanted to know more. I think just maybe for me, just to really dumb it down, like at the beginning, as to why this is better, and like give me some just key reasons as to why it's better at the beginning, and just to get people really on side. But yeah, I really like the graphics. I really liked the actual overall style of the presentation. So yeah, maybe just like Colin said, just to make it a bit more for people who are novices at biosoil, because I don't know a lot.
Okay. Okay, I totally get it. I need to construct some link between the story and the technical sides of the product. I totally get it.
Ozan, do you have a personal story about this whole thing? Why are you a doctor of soil? What led you into that?
Yes. So in one day we are sitting with my friends and we are drinking coffee on some place and we are start to discuss the things. So this is directly coming from the mind. So we think that why the soils are how can I say, how it's the soil is not efficient on normal site, on the normal land, because in the rainforest the soils are the efficient rate is so high.
Yeah.
But in normal farmland, the efficient rate is really decreasing day by day. And we started digging some things on the web, and we see that this is directly the effect of the chemical fertilizers. So we start researching the things. We start to reading some articles, and we start to search what is the formula of the soil in the rainforest, and we saw that this is directly coming from the bacteria is in the soil. So right after that, we start to do some experiments on the lab. Normally, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I was working in the oil and gas, and I'm fully experienced on the corporation. How can I say, the management side of the team? But
Ozan,
Yep.
so what you're just giving me there needs to be condensed and put into your story and your why. Dan, I know you've got to leave relatively soon, so I'm just going to ask for your feedback, and then we'll move on to the next pitch.
Yeah. So okay, high level, I think that the idea is very very good. In terms of the pitch, I think, yeah, mirroring other speakers, I would make a new pitch and just take the best bits from this one based on the feedback given. I think that pieces that would have been nice to have seen to begin with was, okay, you've got a great new fertilizer product. Is it patented? What's the competitiveness aside from just price and what's in it? Exactly what makes your product better than others? I was a bit confused on the target customer. You said B to C to B, and then I was kind of like, okay, well, surely this is just selling to large producers and things like that. So you need to clarify the customer better. And then just with the slides in general, it'd be nice to have them a bit more professional in terms of, you put a lot of like emojis and pictures and things like that. And I think just know your audience, because if you're talking to a customer and presenting these slides, or someone that's going to invest serious money, your slides represent how you're going to operate the business. So I think the last slides that you had, when they were great, try to mirror that throughout them, make the design really crisp, and I think shorten the slides a bit with all of the detail. Have most of your kind of detail on what the product contains in your appendix. So if someone says, hey, I want to drill down into what's actually in the fertilizer, then you can go into the exact breakdown and the ingredients. From a pitch perspective, don't keep repeating yourself you did problem solution, and then you went back to problem solution again. So I think maybe there's just a bit of confusion on what Maria was telling you to do, and then you've added your extra slides on top. But I think overall, very good potential. I like the product, so good luck.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you
Dan.
so much.
Ozan, look, we're all always available for help. If you're already working with Maria, then you're in great hands. If you want a different perspective, then just reach out. And for everyone here, your pitch deck, if you email me your pitch deck, we'll be able to give you an investor view on that pitch deck. Warts and all, kind of brutal feedback, no holds barred. Okay, so if it is crap, I'm sorry, you'll get that back out of the tool. Okay, so next we have Jorge. Is it Jorge and Ben today, or is it just Jorge?
It's just myself. I don't know if Ben is on or not.
Oh yeah, Ben's there. Look.
Oh, he is. Okay, cool. So I'll be driving. Ben
No
will.
problem at all. No problem at all.
Ben
Good
will
to
just
see you.
be playing the tunes.
Excellent.
Cool. So I'll be doing the deck. This is for our 3-minute pitch for FI, but I think actually I've been doing it and it's been around 2 minutes. So hopefully you won't have to honk at me.
Fabulous. Ready when you are.
All right, cool. At its core, independent school admissions is all about 2 key goals: getting new students in and keeping the current ones coming back. Sounds easy, right? Well, increasingly saturated market and turbulent economic times, admissions leaders are being asked to do more with less. These challenges are impacting the school's bottom line in more ways than one. Add in the fact that they report wasting weeks navigating stagnant, inefficient systems, and you can see that it's a big problem. Now, solutions to some of these problems do exist, but antiquated point solutions may create more problems than they solve. Siloed data, inefficiencies, and poor communication make it difficult or almost impossible for them to understand where they can improve. It's no wonder that 62% of schools say they aren't leveraging data for growth. These pain points have been echoed to us not just by admissions leaders globally like Sherry Cameron, who dreams of a world where these systems are streamlined, but also by school principals like Heather Rhodes, who is frustrated at not having the right information when she needs it most. Nudge is aiming to fill that gap. Developed with the guidance from admissions leaders with over 30 years of experience, Nudge is the first platform to integrate data from every interaction in every department. For the first time, admins can identify clear patterns in engagement, tailor their strategies, and make decisions not based on a hunch, but on solid data, so that they can consistently maximize their school's enrollment and revenue. Unlike broad strokes tools, Nudge is built with the unique needs of education, requiring less setup time and fewer resources to manage. With extensive customization options, powerful sequence builders, rich analytics, and an intuitive interface, Nudge empowers admissions teams to forecast better, boost enrollment, retain more students, and build a more engaged community. Now, the only question is, will you sit on the sidelines or join us in the quest to transform a $103 billion industry in desperate need of innovation? We're currently developing our prototype and are growing our waiting list. We're seeking investment of $300,000 to build out our technical expertise and bring our MVP to market. Thank you.
Excellent. Jorge.
That's my second time running through that, so don't beat me up too much.
No. It's
Just
actually,
kidding.
I think it's actually much better. I've got some points in terms of value proposition and how we then position that in terms of financial statements and things like that. So let's come back to that. I'm just going to take you off spotlight. I'm going to hand you over to Mark.
Jorge, wow, what a difference. What a journey compared to the first time you came and did this. Look, I think everything that we've all of the comments and feedback we've given you the last few weeks, as you've taken all of it on board. It's a great narrative that you've got there, great story that you tell alongside some really cool visuals that are just simple. You get it, people understand the pain and the solution, where you're positioning yourself, what the ask is. You've got everything in there, apart from a couple of details. I didn't really see any sort of competitor differentiation or just an overview of any competition, if there is competition. If there isn't, then fine. But point that out maybe. Aside from that, look, this is a great idea. It solves a massive pain. Really like the solution, and today is one of the best pitches I've seen. Well done.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Thanks, Mark. Okay, Sadiq. Hi, Sadiq. How you doing?
Hi, thanks so much for joining. Allow me to join a little bit. Really great presentation today. I want to say I saw this nudge is really great. The clear pain points, I get it. Your solution is really kind of simplifying it to the point. I like that the market size is huge in billions, and you're selling to there's a ton of opportunity. In terms of the revenue model, I didn't feel like, where's the moat? How will you fend off the competition as well? I think because there's a lot of competition there. In terms of the product that you're developing and connecting and making sure that it all streamlines, I think it's really maybe diving into it, but we're in a short period of time. You did really great. And I also want to congratulate you on putting in a script of when you're presenting. That is key, to be honest. And you kind of core that, you put it together, you have your scripts. What I would advise, one thing is master that script, know it like the back of your mind, say it with a little bit of passion, and then put more of that tonality and passion into it.
Yeah,
you got a very recipe for success. Great job today. Great job. Thanks.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Sadiq. Robin.
Yes, Jorge, I've also been here and seen the development of the pitch now over the past couple of weeks. So I would agree with Mark as well. You have taken on all the feedback that we have given you. I feel that it was amazing when you started out. You were like, we got these 2 problems. I was like, that was great, because in the beginning, I remember it sounded like everything was a problem, which makes it very difficult for you to narrow it down in the pitch. So I thought that was really good. You also showed numbers of how much time is being wasted because of these inefficient systems. So overall, I really like the way that you presented it. Clear slides, apart from the graphs. I feel like I struggled to understand them a bit, especially when you were mentioning your solution, because there were a lot of boxes. So as you were speaking, I was reading what was actually in the boxes, and they were kind of generic at the same time.
Are you talking about this slide here? Yeah, we want to figure out a better way to represent the fact that we're connecting the previously scattered solutions, and we definitely haven't nailed that visual.
Right. Yeah, because I thought about that, and it didn't really say anything to me as you were speaking. So you obviously want to have each slide emphasizing and enhancing the message that you're trying to get across.
Yep.
So you had that one, and then you had the other one after with like the traditional admin, etc. You had, yeah, exactly. Because I was also reading as you were going through this. So I want to say great development. If you look at the pitch as a whole, the only thing I would want would be like a clear visual of what the product would look like, or how you're solving the problem that, I don't want to have to read. I just want to see it, understand it, and then, I'll buy it. But great job.
Cool.
Thanks, Robin.
Yeah, thanks for the feedback, bro.
Jorge, that kind of goes back to my previous point about the pitch, the teaser pitch, the presentation pitch, and the difference between. This very much is a presentation pitch. Yeah, if you're trying to stand in front of us in 3 minutes and talk through every single point, it's not going to work. Can you do me a favor, just real quickly, go back to you had a slide about the number of hours that you save?
Yeah.
Okay, so school administrators lose a staggering 520 hours. Now, with love and respect, if I put that in front of a CFO, they're going to say, so what? Because even at $50 an hour, that's only $25,000, $26,000. Yeah. Now, if I think
that's per team member.
If that's per team member, then that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that doesn't come across. Now, I'm reading that as per school. So yeah, it's a rounding error. So maybe we need to just work on finessing that, and also remember that nobody really likes saving money. And from a business productivity perspective, there is no line item on a balance sheet for business productivity. Any CFO will tell you this. So the value proposition has to be hard coded, and it has to be hard in terms of making money. Yeah, that's the pitch that's going to win you over. Okay, good job, Jorge. Really enjoyed the acceleration, if you like, in terms of just how far this has come from the first version we heard. Okay, could you stop sharing screen? Perfect. Heather, who's next? Look at that. Eddie's got straight in there. Go, Eddie. Go, Eddie.
Is Eddie next? He's on.
We didn't have any choice. Look, Eddie's in.
So it's Eddie, then Michael next.
Yeah. Anyone else should try that next time.
Wasting no time. All right. Sweet. So I'm Eddie. And a few years ago now, I moved to Manchester for a master's, mid-pandemic, lockdown, and then I got a job hybrid and worked online. And I learned firsthand that it is really hard to make friends. And that's why Mutuals here is trying to end loneliness and help everyone find their people. So yeah, that's the problem. I think it's, comes in a lot of forms. It's to do with being a busy professional, but it's mainly to do with like leaving school and no longer spending all your time surrounded by people and interacting all the time. And we're all missing these meaningful connections that we may have acquaintances. So here are the stats. It's not just a feeling. It's shown in the data. People are using social media, supposedly connected, yet feeling alone. At least half of us. And so we are here to replace the standard event platforms with our AI curated gatherings. So what does that look like? We get everyone to have a little conversation with our chatbot. They answer these questions, varying levels of detail, and get to know them, really builds a profile on who they are and what they care about, what they relate to, their personality traits. And then the next time they're free, we curate a gathering with 4 to 8 completely random people, but are selected specifically for you. You go, you have a drink, and afterwards you're going to give us feedback, and we're going to evolve the solution. We're going to match you with people better and better each time. Once you've got a few friends, you probably think, well, maybe they'll churn, maybe they'll leave. Well, we think that's when they become our best users, they become referrers, they become advocates, but they also go into our premium like-minded gatherings. Because at that point, we know who they are. We really understand them. We have a deep model, AI model that can match them with any people. So now we can say, next time you're in a new city, go meet some people. Next time you want to go on a night out at the weekends with a few of your friends, we'll help you bump into another few friends. Maybe you want to have a specific preference or like a fitness class. And also some people are going to struggle. So that's when our social skill coaching is. And we the people who are often ignored by most of these solutions, we bring them in. This is the market. I've overrun there. We're going to do for friendship what Bumble has done for dating. And if we get everyone on our £5 a month subscription, it should be massive. The current options are event platforms, or you can try using a dating app equivalent, which is just swiping and isn't really very constructive for making friends. We've currently got a group of 3,000 people, and we're launching our small gatherings to them in the next few weeks. We'll launch in Manchester, London, more cities, and then students in the new year, new academic year, that is. The users pay, the venues pay, the partners pay. We're going to get money on all sides, apart from advertising, which we want to try and avoid, because it will incentivize us as a platform to keep you on the app, keep you addicted and lonely and not connecting with people in real life, which is what we're all about at Mutuals. This is a team, AI out the window, and
Eddie, you're
some marketing support.
3-minute territory now.
Yeah, sorry. 250K. I had my notes on my screen on my phone instead of my timer, which was the mistake.
Okay, mate. All right. Look, thank you for that. I enjoyed that again. Just as with Jorge, you can see the evolution here. Much better than the first time round. So congratulations on that. I absolutely believe in this. I think this is a big problem. I think it's underserved by things like meetup.com. And I mean, what else is it? Eventbrite. We fight with Eventbrite every single day to try and get the platform working. It's an absolute pig of a thing. I'm not sure if Bumble, I think to Mark's point previously, is your competitor, or even Bumble for Friends. So anyway, look, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to hand it over. Who should we pick? Maria.
Okay, thanks, Colin, and thank you, Eddie, for pitching today. Yeah, like really interesting idea and really interesting product. Well, I made a few notes here. So basically, I really like your personality, and I like how you start with a story and you give us a bit of insight on how you've were someone that dealt with this problem. And that being said, I feel like you are dragging a bit the story too long. So I feel like every single slide wasn't like, you weren't, tell me like how you're going to make money, how you're going to differentiate. You're always kind of going back to saying, also we can do this and we can also do this. So you're all like, you have to, in my opinion, clean up a bit your let's say problem and how you solve it, because you put how you solve it through all of your presentation. So I would rather see it at the beginning and then focus on different elements of what you do. Secondly, I think, so one of the examples here is like on the third slide, I think, you're like, okay, this is like the adults, being an adult is hard, and here are the stats. Like you didn't say it as a story. So the way I would have told it, it would be something like, yeah, you have a slide with a lot of words before this. You have a slide with, yeah, so making it hard, and they say, here are the stats. Okay, you can tell me a story about it, keep me engaged. I'm like, oh, being an adult is hard, and these are the things that prove it. Like, as you can see, lots of adults are like dealing with this and this and that. Otherwise, it's just 2 slides in a row. Personally, I don't think this is necessary, this personal slide. I think you could talk over it and just go into the one with the stats and like make it a bit more, shiny, let's say, from that perspective, right? You have a lot of text on a lot of slides. So again, I don't know, to Colin's point from the last pitch, I don't know if this is a presentation deck or a pitch deck or
Presentation.
Okay, so yeah, then it explains it. I also had here, we got to the end of it way after 2 minutes when you told me how you're making money from this from this product. So I was left, I was like, is he ever going to tell me how he's going to monetize this? Because I get the problem. I really got the problem a lot of times. And yeah, like my other it's a small thing, but it just stuck to my head. You're basically saying, like, we're going to do for friendship what Bumble and Meet.com or something, Match Group does for dating, and then you put Bumble for Friends is your competition. And it's a bit, for me, you're saying you want to be like Bumble, but then you're like, Bumble for Friends is your competition. So it's like, to me, it's a bit, I don't know, it kind of clicks something in my head that doesn't really work, but otherwise, I think it's a great pitch. I think, I don't know where you started from, but I think you have like great personality and you can really bring it to life once you have it nailed. With these points that you need to clean it up a bit and like focus on each kind of block of your story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess comment quickly on the Bumble for Friends thing, because you both mentioned that. Like, Bumble does really well for dating apps, but they've just tried to put a slim skin on and point it at friends, and just it's the closest thing in terms of a virtual AI thing, but it doesn't put people in person. It just puts them on a date, on a texting thing, and that's why I mention it, because it is the closest thing that's trying to do what we're doing, but without any of the bit that I think makes it work.
Well, then tell me this difference, because I don't know Bumble for Friends. So tell me the difference. Tell me why you're very different from it, right?
I got lost in my story at the start there.
Good stuff. Thank you, Maria. Okay, so Sadiq, we're gonna have to rattle along a bit, guys, because we've got quite a few pitches still to do.
I'll keep it short, simple. I like the last time you presented. I see the great transformation, and the faster you're doing it, the more clarity you're showing it, the more confident you are presenting. I agree with Maria, everything she said. I'll just echo that as well. But we're a great job. Love to see it. Loneliness is a big thing. When it comes to Medicare and older population, we look at, there's a company called PAPA, PAPA.com. They're built in Miami. They're worth $2 billion today. And they're solving one problem, which is loneliness. So great job. Knock it out of the woods. When you get to 2 billion, please don't forget Colin and everything here. Thanks.
Eddie, when Sadiq and I first met, when Sadiq was doing his pitch, my comment to him was, well, automated doctor-patient care is all well and fine, but what about the loneliness? So it's not just young people moving, it's old people, it's everyone in between. Do you remember that, Sadiq? That feels like years ago now.
I do. It's actually 1 year. It's actually 1 year and a month now. Yeah. Or 1 year and a few days. Thanks.
Excellent. Right, so other mentors, we're going to move on to the next story now. The next story, what's this, Jackanory? The next pitch, that's the one. So Efeoma, ready? I'm looking forward to this. No pressure.
Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. Can you
Ready?
hear me?
Yeah, ready
Yeah.
when
Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Ifama Anam Bonifo, and then we are Casper and Cent Limited, and all we do is we're ensuring safety and we're simplifying mobility. So the problem we've realized our customers are facing, the basic problem they're facing is lack of security in Nigeria. And do you know that within the first quarter of this year in Nigeria, more than 1,200 people have been kidnapped? Last year, over 4,000 were kidnapped, and daily people experience theft, robbery, assault, and more than 80% of these crimes are not being recorded. So what solution are we providing? So the solution we're bringing for this problem is we're providing physical security and secured mobility for our customers. From the moment they step off the plane or from their home, we pick them up and we accompany them throughout their journey or throughout their stay, depending on the service they requested. So how do we accomplish this? So we have the Overwatch, like the IT room for tracking, monitoring, feedback, and response. And then for tracking, we'll go beyond the basic tracking because we will not just be car tracking. We want to incorporate human tracking because car can be hijacked anytime and then you are still tracking. Then we have the wide range of automobile choices. We offer bulletproof cars depending on our customer's preference. And then we have the professional and personal chauffeur, but they will all be trained security personnel. And then our traction. So we started 2 years ago, two-man team, and then we've grown to 6-man team. And then we started with a car, and now we have 6 cars because we have an MVP running at the moment in Nigeria. Okay, so the market size, as at 2016, the market size was 4.83 billion to 2020, 5.11 billion, and then it's estimated to grow to, I can't see my screen, sorry. I'm sorry. It's expected to grow to 6 points. My screen is covered, sorry, by 2025. I'm sorry. Then our target market. So we're targeting like the corporate airlines and the government officials, and then we're targeting also foreign expatriates. So like I said, this business will be established in Nigeria and operations will start in Rivers State in Nigeria. Oh gosh. And then for our competitors, so we've classified our competitors. From the security side, we have Halogen, we have Kingsguard, and then from the transportation side, we have Uber, we have Bolt. So, and then we'll be able to stand out by offering advanced security features. Like I said, we go into both human tracking and car tracking. Then for reliability, we're already a registered company and safety is paramount for us. And so for our business model, we'll be operating with high-touch business model. And then we're a brick and click. For the aggregator model and the auction-based model, that one will come in later as the business evolves.
Ifoma, we're into 3-minute territory now, so let's wrap it up.
Okay, so we're asking for £350,000. And what we do with it, improve security features, purchase more bulletproof cars that are not easy to come by in Nigeria, staff training and equipping, and then advert and other business-related use. So, and here is our team, and this is me. And this is my co-founder. I'm not experienced in security. He is. Then we have the head of finance and then the operations manager. And then thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ifoma. Okay, much better. If you can take the screen share off, that would be great. Thank you. A couple of things. I think we had an office hours, and I was talking about an aggregator. I remember talking about, you know, the amount of competition that you've got in market is just colossal, because anyone with an AK-47 and a fast car can potentially have the perception of doing something similar. Whether they're actually doing what you're doing is almost irrelevant because it's a sales and marketing exercise. So I think that your market is actually here in Europe for people visiting places like Nigeria. It's quite alarming, the stats, you know, very alarming, you know. And so, you know, obviously there's a big need, but that's why there's so many people doing it. So what makes you so different? What makes you special? Why is someone going to give you your ask? What was it, 250,000? Why is someone going to give you money to do it versus them? In terms of your competitive matrix, your kind of, you know, almost like your magic quadrant, I think you positioned yourself at the wrong side of the magic quadrant. Typically, companies are up the top and the right. That's where they want to be in terms of differentiation. Everyone else is down the bottom and to the left. Okay. Robin, I'm going to ask you from a storytelling perspective.
Yes, I think that you did really good, Ifeoma, when it comes to explaining the problem. I would have just said to maybe tell, because I haven't been to Nigeria, and for me, it's like I would have loved to have had like a bit more, a visual story, how you make it different. Because what I'm thinking right now is basically like a safe Uber that applies to the Nigerian market, which sounds like a great idea, but just like Colin said as well, like what is it that actually makes you different? So from my perspective, I would have loved to have had that picture painted, what sort of risks I am facing and what my alternatives are when I land, and how you make it super easy for me to, get in a safe car that is pre-vetted, take me to the destination, etc.
Okay.
Those were like the things that really stood out to me. And I just want to say, yeah, I made a comment about only Nigeria. So coming in as an investor, is this something that is scalable and can be applied to basically any market once you have it up and running? So that was just a question I had. And when it comes to the presentation itself, I would have just said to slow down a little bit and then just paint like a really vivid picture of how much easier and how much safer I'm going to be if I'm using your product and service. But otherwise, I think you did a good job.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Robin. Ifeoma, did I see that you had Uber and Bolt as competitors as well?
Yeah.
Now, my Uber drivers don't carry machine guns. I mean, they should do in Portsmouth in some places, but are you sure they're competitors?
Okay, so from what I know, we should do like maybe direct and indirect competitors. So for direct competitors, they are not, but indirectly, yeah, they are somehow. But okay, I get what you're talking about. I get it. Yeah.
Sad state of affairs in Portsmouth. Okay, right. So who's next? We're just going to try and squeeze hopefully a couple more in. Just mentors, if we do need to go over, do you have an extra 10 minutes?
I do. Yannick says he has to go and he's after. So at the moment it's Michael, then Ignis, then Yannick.
Yep. So Yannick, you have to leave, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get you in first then. Sorry, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, Michael, because I know that you've literally bumped as well again. So I'm so sorry. Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem.
So sorry. Thank you.
Did you hear Michael's excellent reply there? Massively, clarity driven reply through his wonderful
podcast reply.
Podcast reply. Yeah. Good.
So can you see my screen right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect.
So, Yannick, you've got 2 minutes. I'm going to have to keep you to 2 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So, hi, I'm Yannick, and my company is Cleared, and we are developing an app to have an in-depth analysis of luxury goods at your fingertips. So picture this: you are shopping for something special, like a fancy watch or a designer bag, and you are going to the nearest reseller. But how can you ensure the quality of your findings? How do you know if your product is real or fake, or if you're overpaying for it? That's where Cleared is the answer. Cleared is an easy-to-use app. Just snap pictures of the luxury item you like, and we'll tell you everything about it. From market values to brand history, product features, product history, and the material used. Our goal for resellers, we provide the technology and the knowledge to ensure the optimization of their inventory, to propose the best prices, and to gain a competitive edge. And for resellers and for individual consumers, we provide the advanced analysis provides an insurance that you're buying something of quality and something with a lasting value. Our goal really is to actually democratize expertise and to propose something different, something that the user and the consumer don't have access right now. To support resellers and expand our offerings, we are seeking a pre-seed investment of 350,000. That will help us reach 100,000 Cleared app user and generating $1 million in revenue. Thank you very much, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Yannick, thank you. You've done me a favor, not necessarily yourself a favor, because you had an extra 30 seconds there. So that's okay, fine. So hopefully I won't waffle and fill up that 30 seconds. So interesting. You can see that there's been a progression. Sadiq, I think you've seen this before. So do you want to give your comment, please?
Great job, great improvement, to the point, hitting to the market, great stuff. I think you solved both problems, the customer and just want to congratulate you on keep growing. Great stuff. I don't have anything to add.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sadiq. Mark, from a business perspective, any feedback there?
I mean, look, yes, it's an improvement from last week, Yannick. I'll be honest, because it was a little bit confusing last week, and then the slides were quite poor. I still have a number of I think there are still a number of challenges here for you. First and foremost, you started off by telling a scenario around a retailer and having a scenario where you walk in to purchase a specific brand item and you need to verify its authenticity. I don't think that's a good scenario, to be honest with you, because I think, to be honest, anybody going into a luxury brand, paying by credit card, they're covered. A receipt with a luxury brand, they're covered. So in that kind of scenario, I think that's the wrong scenario to use for what you're talking about. I think you should talk more about the way that you progressed into the presentation, where you were talking about resellers and individuals that are trying to sell those brands secondhand. I still can't see the market opportunity here. I don't think you kind of covered that off enough. I'm not sure what the market opportunity is for this. So perhaps if there was some more research to be done and you could talk more around the research that had been carried out. There's not really an explanation around the solution, which, for most people, when they're watching this product and they're watching you position this and talk through it, they're kind of going, tell me how you're going to do it. Tell me how you're going to do it. And you don't actually get to the crutches of that, because I think everyone's thinking the same thing. I don't think this can be done from a photo. So that's my biggest concern. And then there's no monetization. So you haven't talked through how you're going to actually make money from this and where the monetization piece is. So those are quite, critical elements of the actual presentation. So that's my feedback.
Okay. Just to give you a bit more clarity, we actually don't do authentication now. We do really product analysis. So what we do is to provide the user with a lot of knowledge about the product, like market values, what the product used, what the industry, where the product was built and stuff like that. Not really authentication specifically.
Okay. So you've now removed the whole authentication piece, which was your business model previously, and now moved forward to this is what you need to know about the item.
Exactly, because we actually did a lot of customer interview and research, and what we found out was that they didn't really need to have some kind of authentication process, or they wouldn't actually trust it. So, but what they really need was actually like some specific information that they would have to actually look for if they want to buy that product.
Yeah, that's probably the best pivot, and I'm glad you took that feedback on board. Not that we're here to tell you whether or not we think your business, you should move forward with the business. That's for you to decide, right? However, I feel, and I think some of the other mentors will feel that that's probably the best pivot you could have made.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Good stuff. Yeah, I do agree. I think your first model was complicated and possibly a bit too much to bite off on. But we need to rattle on. Who's next?
Is Michael next?
Michael, of course it's you next, Michael.
He's been waiting patiently.
Good job, Yannick. Well done. What I would say, Yannick, just while Michael gets sorted, I think you're about 15 seconds in before you settle down. Yeah, so when you're getting ready, try and get yourself in the zone before, so that you're hitting it hard right from the start. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Michael, no pressure, you're last.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Lynn. I'm the CEO and founder of Creds. Creds is a two-sided marketplace looking at independent artists and content creators. So there's independent artists who are always looking for new ways to expose their music to an audience, and content creators, especially sponsored content creators, that struggle to find the music that they want to use for their content. So they just default into royalty-free music. And they're also looking for new revenue streams by being paid by artists to feature their music is the option that we want to derive for them. The market opportunity is sponsored content creators. There's over 3 million creators on YouTube and Twitch, which is just 2 platforms that we're looking at, with over 10,000 subscribers, which puts them into at least the micro-influencer category, where they can start to generate revenues from brands where they need actually licensed music rather than normal platform licensed music. These creators have been investing significantly into their videos and would invest into music. They are also looking for alternative ways to drive revenue, and being paid to feature tracks is one that they'd be interested in. Musicians are always looking for exposures, not just musicians, but also labels as well as brands looking for what tracks to use for their adverts. So we've done a number of interviews with lots of music industry stakeholders, and they would love this as an opportunity. So how do we do it? We collect data in and around who's on the track, how the track's going to be used, how artists want it to be used, the price points, and we store that. And we compare that against the proposed use by content creators. And once there's a match, we can immediately license it in an automated sense. If it isn't, we can store that data and give recommendations to the artist about how to change their parameters to increase those licensing revenues. We do have a functional version 0.1 that we've developed, and that's what we're currently raising funds to develop into our launchable version 1. Our competition either sacrifices control over your music for license utility, or they have an incredible barrier to entry in and around subscription fees without being able to actually see the platform. None of these competitors either offer the opportunity for artists to be featured with content creators in their content. So how do we make the money? We are a freemium platform making revenue off of the fees of the licenses processed on our platform, as well as having premium products backed by our data analysis, which is a unique source. By pinning the license to the videos, we can get audience data, how the track's being used, how it performs, and tie that in to our AI model, which will be able to give recommendations to artists, content creators, brands, all about how to get the most impact out of their content, music, and branding. So our traction and go-to-market strategy, we have great traction.
You're well over 2 minutes. You got
okay, yeah.
2 slides worth, if that.
So our ask is 500,000. That gets us from our version 0 to our version 1, which is launchable within 6 months of funding. We then that will drive us forwards with our marketing push to generate revenues and spur on a further seed round. After that seed round, we aim to expand out our offering to more complex catalogs, as well as further functionality through our AI model. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. I like the evolution. Just something about your slides when you present. You know, all of us now spend most of our life moving Zoom windows around, trying to see screen real estate. I don't know if it's just me, but down the right-hand side of your slides, I can just see a big grey block, which means that 1/10 of the screen real estate. That's it. That's the one. We can't see.
Okay.
Okay, so
you could try sharing your actual window, like the actual preview, whatever you're hosting the thing in, and it won't share that. Rather than sharing your full screen, if you share the window that's got the actual presentation on, you'd avoid that.
Looks like we all have it.
Okay.
Okay, so look, I've got some comments around the ask and a pre-seed ask. Now, the only reason I'm saying this is because we're in quite a tight investment economy. I firmly believe that the amount of money rattling around is actually more than it's ever been. It's just in different places, right? But in terms of pre-seed and seed, we have to work a bit harder to try and find that. Now, one of the ways that we're proving that is with traction. And by traction, we basically mean, nice to meet you. How many users do you have? What does your wait list look like? What am I investing in here? Because $500,000 is a lot for pre-seed, with 0 revenue. So I just maybe bear that in mind and ask yourself, is there a way that you can get something that delivers some traction to prove some of the model, not necessarily all of the model, you know, maybe an MVP, you know, maybe whatever it is that's going to satisfy some of those questions.
Yeah, we're developing our we have like letters of intent out and coming back in from artists and small labels and in and around the space, but we don't have enough of them to really include it yet. So that's what we're trying to work at.
Good stuff. Thanks, Michael. Good job. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to who hasn't given us lots of feedback today. Robin, you've got 1 minute.
Yes, Michael. I would say that, first of all, amazing sound. I think people should be, you know, complimented on things that they're doing well, especially when it's something as technical as delivering a pitch online, which I think is very good. I really liked the way that you paced this pitch as well. It was very easy to follow. The main things for me were actually the things that Colin also brought up when it came to the traction, because I would almost, I don't know, just avoid talking about the traction unless I have something that I could actually show, because now you're just saying we have some people who really like it and then sort of move on, which make it's almost like remove the entire fact if it's not a strong one. That's what I would have said. But yeah, I feel like I have a better understanding of it this week than I had last week. So you've definitely made improvements when it comes to that.
Excellent. Thanks.
Thanks, Robin. Just in interest of time, and I know we're asking a lot of mentors. We do actually have two more people, two more pitches. What we can do is ask for a recording and then feedback, and I can circulate that. But if mentors, you need to drop off, that's totally fine. Ignas, we're still going to give you a chance to pitch. And Stacey, if you're ready as well. I don't think I've seen you just yet, Stacey, but that's fine as well. Ignas, you got 2 minutes max. Go for it.
Thank you. I'm just going to start my own analysis tool as well.
I like the promo in the background there.
Yes. So Cartwise, this is a startup where we help you shop smarter, and we.
Are you sharing a screen?
Oh, sorry. Maybe I forgot. That's important. Share screen. Okay. Now, let's start. All right, here we go. See my screen. So, hi, my name is Ignas. I'm presenting Cartwise. We help simplify your journey. So, a little bit about me and my family. I have 3 children with special needs. My wife is stay-at-home. We don't have a lot of time. We do not have a lot of money. And what, are the challenges for us? So if you want to compare different prices on different shops, it can be time consuming. The quality can be different between different shops. If you go to, Lidl, for example, going to see the much lower amount of choices, yeah, we cannot customize the experience when we shop online. So so what I'm building is, I believe it's the best way to shop. It is an AI-enabled shopping assistant, which helps you compare the prices in different shops and ensures that your family gets the best value and gets to eat healthy. You can also plan for events. So, things that can be quite stressful for my families when we have a birthday or a barbecue, we need particular items. And having all of that suggested for you by AI can quite simplify it. Why do you think it's the right opportunity? So currently we experienced a massive inflation surge, and there's more and more consumers that are shopping online, which naturally is shifting our focus. The market is around e-commerce market's around $300 billion.
Ignas, just in the interest of time, unfortunately, I'm gonna cut you off there, okay? That's 2 minutes on the dot.
Oh.
Okay, so just some high level feedback, real high level feedback from myself.
Okay.
I want to feel the energy from you next time. I want to have electric sparks coming off of Cartwise. I want you to have rolled your cart, your shopping trolley, across some electric cattle prod things, and that when I grab hold of it, I want to go, whoa. And that's the energy I want to feel from everybody's pitch. Yeah. Now, it's not natural to all of us, okay? But this is why we've got someone like Robin here. I do this every day. This has got energy from Sadiq, who brings it every single day. Every pitch I've ever seen Sadiq do, he's on it, absolutely on it. Now, I'm not specifically criticizing you here, Ignace, but energy helps get over a whole bunch of message. Yeah, because at the stage most of us are at in this room, people are investing in you as the founder. And if, you know, you're like, yeah, well, you know, I want to talk to you about my startup and, you know, yeah, it's all right. I'm not saying that was you, but who is, you're asking someone for their cash, you know, it's a big ask. Now, in terms of the pitch itself, I thought last week's was better. And we all have this kind of, you know, these kind of all kinds of rhythms, etc., where we do stuff better and we do stuff worse. Now, I thought last week's was better. Next time you come back, we're going to get you right to the front of the queue. Yeah. And we're going to, you know, I want high energy and we want to hear the whole thing. Is that fair?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay. I think Stacey, are you still here? Stacey.
Can I add one thing really quick to Ignace?
Yes, Sadiq, please, whilst we find Stacey.
And it's kind of like exactly what Robin said last time, and I want to just follow up on Colin. Think about it like you said you have 3 sons, special need, you're married. Think about like your family has nothing saving them except your company, except this company. Think about the waters behind you and you burned fires on all the boats that got you to that land. Think about it. This is your last chance to really make your family and everyone depending on you only. If you think about it like that and present it, the whole thing will be changed. Your tone, dynamic, your passion, your excitement, like this is it. Go into that mentality. I promise you, like your everything's gonna change. But I think you did a great design. You have a great solutions. Your energy needs to match that.
Yeah.
Great job.
Hi
Sorry.
guys. Can you hear me, see me?
Cool. Thanks, Sadiq. Ignace, great job. Look,
Hi guys, can you hear me, see
we'll
me?
work on it. We can, Stacey, 2 secs. Ignace will come back, you know, we'll go better, we'll go stronger, and so on. Stacey, there you are.
Hi guys. Right, I'm
Now,
high
look,
energy because sorry.
You've got the graveyard shift here, so we've got mentors.
high
I've
energy,
already
I'll have
taken an
any
extra
shift.
15 minutes, so
Yeah, that's fine. Any shift works for me. So I am that desperate person. So I'm ready to go. So I'd like to introduce you guys to tidymyroom.com. I'm really sorry I didn't plan to come on here. This is the website, tidymyroom.com. It's a live website. It's a online booking system for cleaners across the UK. I'm networking with cleaners in all major cities across the UK, and I'm allowing people to easily schedule a cleaning service to tidy up their messy room. It's that simple, and it's a matter of just having the right funding to take it to the next level in terms of marketing. I'd like to start doing ad campaigns. I'd like to start doing ads across Meta, across Google, and I'm looking for 100,000, and that's it. So any questions, bring them my way. You can take a look on there right now and see the pricing structure. Everything is there. It's good to go. I've got a whole database of cleaners across the UK.
Okay.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, please go for it.
Is your room tidy now?
No.
Ouch.
So it's a service that I need. I'm a mother of 2, and it's the reason I started the business, because I myself have a problem with keeping rooms tidy as a busy mum. I know that domestic cleaning as an industry, it's increasing every year about 25%. By 2028, they're predicting it's going to be worth 1.78 billion. So it's a growing industry, and it's recession proof. You know, people always need their rooms tidying, and this is a platform that I can take, you know, worldwide eventually. Once we conquer the UK, can take it to other major cities in the world. You know, everyone's got a messy room. Everybody needs help tidying their room. Everybody wants it to be easy and practical. Everyone's uniformed. Everyone's background checked, so it's safe.
So, Stacey, let's try and get a bit of. Who asked that question, by the way? Was that you, Maria?
I mean, I was like, I'll tell you why, because I thought it would be like the best, like, cause like Stacey came, like, I wasn't ready to do this now, like my whole life is like, everything is chaotic. How cool would it have been for like the start of the pitch saying like, look, I forgot, like I'm not supposed to like show it as like present, but my room is so clean because I'm using my own thing, right? So you start with like a memorable thing. It's like, oh, I forgot, I can't share, but look, everything is like chaotic, but look, my room is amazing, you know? It's very memorable. That's why I was asking about it.
Thanks, Maria.
Yeah.
Hey, Stacey, I'm not sure if your pitch was it kind of felt like a cry for help in some ways. It felt like I need this. It was less a pitch and more of a statement. And that's fine. We can help you turn that into a pitch, right?
Yeah.
Because structure and all the things that you're offering your client, we need to tidy your pitch deck. Yeah, so maybe tidymypitchdeck.com, you know, is my next you know, but ultimately we need to do things in a certain programmatic way. And with love and respect, you didn't have any of that in that pitch at all.
No. Honestly, this was so random. So I run another business, as I just told Heather, that I do on a full-time basis. And this business, I haven't put enough time and energy into it because of my full-time job, if you like. But this is what I'm really passionate about. I just need to have more time to put into it and more resources.
So, hey, look, Stacey, look, you were last in and we're kind of well over time. I'm just going to ask Robin quickly from a story perspective. Maybe not too much to go on from a story perspective, Robin, but
no, I would have said, like, you obviously have a lot of energy, you know, that you throw at the camera, which I think is amazing. All I'm thinking when you're talking about these things, right, is, you know, competition. Like, what is your attraction? How do you differentiate it? And I feel like if there is a business out there in the world where you would have, you know, the barrier to entry would be next to nothing, it would be this. So you really need something to stand out in order to ask for investments, because if it is like a very solid business idea, then you should have had the traction. I don't know why you're even asking for investment, because this is recession proof and everyone needs a tidy room. So for me, it's almost like, okay, why do you need the investment?
The investment is just to increase the marketing campaigning. So that's what it's for. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Guys, we're gonna have to wrap up there. Thank you to all the mentors. Thank you to everyone who stuck around there. Really appreciate that. And look, everyone had to go for their various reasons. We're well over, so really appreciate it. Look, thanks for.
I'll come more prepared next time.
Well, you know what? That's fine. Look, let's get a pitch deck. Let's get some concept in there. And what you're asking everyone to do is sprint real hard to try and catch up. So you're almost like painting the picture. You're tidying up everything in order for us to move into this lovely house and go, this is amazing. Wow, look at that. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys. Okay.
Take it easy. Cheers. Bye. Bye.
See you, everyone.